Hey everybody, it's Andrea. Before we start today's show, I have a super quick announcement to share with you. In May, my College to Career Academy will hold a series of live weekend boot camps to help graduating seniors as well as juniors who are confused about what jobs and careers they might want to pursue when they graduate. So imagine going from confused to confident with at least 3 different career options you'd be psyched to explore by the end of day 1 of the boot camp, and then learning the tools, tactics, and the strategies to find those jobs by the end of day 2. The boot camp is live and it's led by me over Zoom, and you can learn more about it at College to Career Academy. That's college, the number 2, career.academy. Or you can just look me up on LinkedIn and check out the featured section of my LinkedIn page. I can't imagine a better graduation gift for the college students in your life. Thanks so much for listening, and I know you're going to enjoy my next incredible guest. Hi there, I'm Andrea Koppel, and it's time for coffee. The podcast where you get to hear firsthand what the jobs and careers that interest you the most are really like. Hey there, Java junkies. Welcome to another K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. By the way, K-Cups come in 3 sizes: single, double, and triple shots, or roughly 1 minute, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes in length. So if you don't have time to throw back an entire caffeinated career conversation, these K-Cup mini episodes of T4C can give you a quick caffeinated fix, whether you're on the go or you only have a few minutes to binge. So grab your mug and take a chug, because it's time for a caffeinated career double shot K-Cup with my guest, Madeline Mann. One of the things that we touched on in our Espresso Shots episode, which we just finished recording, was the fact that titles are made up. They're really left to the will of hiring managers or senior management at companies as to how they want to describe different titles. Your title is a new one for your company, for Inspire. What was it, Madeline, that made you say, yeah, I want to describe myself as a talent development manager? Or was the position posted like that?
I would say that you're right. Typically, my role might be also called training and development or learning and development. These titles evolve because I'm not just the only one just building trainings, but also thinking through how are we developing talent across the organization? How am I coaching managers? How am I building processes that lead to talent development? So it is an effort to make it a bit more accurate. But yeah, it's so funny, Andrea, when you look at all of the titles in the human resources, people operations, whatnot field, like there's just so many of them and it's dizzying. And I could list off, 12 different ones. And yeah, they're all kind of nuanced in their own way.
So was this a title that you helped to curate, or was it a title that the management at Inspire had already thought of?
The role that I was interviewing for, this role was actually created for me. I was interviewing for a different role and my boss said, wait a minute, I want to hire this other role too. I haven't created a job description. I'm going to write up a job description really quick and will you interview for that? And so we did discuss the job title. Ultimately, yeah, she really felt that this would be a good title for me. And I agreed for sure. It is a title that has become a lot more common these days, but it still is kind of rising in notoriety.
You mentioned something now that makes me think of a data point that is frequently thrown around about how most people get jobs, let's just say, could be up to 80% through referrals, and 80% of jobs in general are hidden. And there are a whole bunch of reasons behind that. But one of them is for the very reason you just mentioned. Nobody at Inspire had thought of a talent development manager position until you interviewed for the job. So, I mean, this is just, I think it helps to paint the picture of why that 80% is actually a pretty accurate number.
Yes, it is. It's so trippy. I think people often think that the hiring process is very structured and that there's certain roles a company needs and then they fill them. But it's extremely messy. Companies are constantly switching their hiring priorities. They're not only switching their hiring priorities before they put out a job description. As they are hiring, they are changing their thoughts of, oh, well, maybe we don't need that skill. Or actually looking at these candidates, I realize that they are completely missing this aspect and we need to change it. It's so messy behind the scenes because it really is an imperfect art. And so that's why being scrappy about it, meeting people, getting your face out there can change your career forever because it's not black or white. It's not this role is open or this role is closed. It's these roles don't even exist and they'll make it one for you and you'll come on in. And that's what's happened to me in my career several times, actually. My first internship was created for me in human resources.
Is that right?
Yeah. I networked and I got to know people over the course of years and I just kept keeping in touch. And at one point, a contact of mine, her coworker, who's the human resources manager, she was just overworked and needed someone ASAP. And my contact said, well, I know someone. And there I was the next day, ready to go. A role completely created for me. It wasn't me against a bunch of applicants. It was me against the clock. Like, was I going to have the right timing? Yes, I did. And it really led to the rest of my career.
Thanks for tuning in to this K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. If you want to listen to our entire caffeinated career conversation, please check out the show notes for this episode. Thanks so much for listening to Time for Coffee, where the professionals in the jobs that most interest you always have time to grab coffee, 24/7, no matter where you live. I have one quick favor to ask you. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe to Time for Coffee. Thanks so much.